Have you ever watched your whole life burn down from the inside of a car parked across the street? I have. The screen of my phone was the only light, glowing at 2 a.m. in the dead quiet of a suburban Chicago cul-de-sac. I was parked 50 yards from my own house, the house I'd poured my soul into, watching a silhouette in the upstairs window. It wasn't my wife, Jenna. It was him. The faint blue light of the television flickered against the glass, illuminating their movements just enough. A hand on a shoulder, a shared laugh I couldn't hear but could feel in my gut like a punch. The worst part? I recognized him from a holiday party last year. He was the lawyer she'd introduced as a new colleague. Now I knew what kind of work they were doing together. That night, I didn't just see a cheating wife. I saw the architect of my own destruction, and he was sleeping in my bed. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. For 10 years, I thought Jenna was my everything. We built a life on the North Shore in a quiet neighborhood where the biggest drama was whose lawn was the greenest. I was a consultant, traveling just enough to miss her, but never enough to feel distant. I loved her. I trusted her. That trust was my biggest mistake. It started subtly. A new password on her laptop. Phone calls taken in the other room, her voice a low murmur. When I'd walk in, she'd hang up. Just work, she'd say, her smile a little too bright, a little too sharp. She started talking about our finances, a topic she'd always found boring. She wanted to restructure our assets, move things into separate accounts for tax purposes. She'd hired a specialist, she said. A real shark. His name was Marcus. He was exactly the type you'd expect. Smug, with a watch worth more than my car, and a smile that never reached his eyes. They'd have late-night meetings that stretched into dinners. I'd call her, and the background noise was always the clink of glasses and low music, not the rustle of papers. She became cold, distant. Every question I asked was met with a sigh, as if my concern was an exhausting burden. You're being paranoid, she'd snap. Do you not trust me? She wielded the question like a weapon, turning my own love and loyalty against me. Her and Marcus, they felt untouchable, wrapped in a bubble of shared secrets and legal jargon I couldn't penetrate. They were planning my exit from my own life, and they were doing it right in front of me. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I came home early, a bouquet of her favorite lilies in my hand, planning a surprise. The surprise was mine. Her car was in the driveway, but the house was silent. I walked upstairs, and through the slightly ajar bedroom door, I heard them, not just talking, laughing, that intimate, private laughter you only share with someone you're completely vulnerable with. His voice, then hers. The words were a blur of legal terms and pet names. He'll never see it coming, Marcus said, his voice thick with arrogance. By the time he figures it out, it'll be over. I stood there, flowers wilting in my fist, my heart turning to ice. I backed away, silent. I went to a hotel on Rush Street, the city lights a blur through my tears. That night, the loyal husband died and someone else began to take his place. My grief turned to cold, hard clarity. They thought I was a fool. They were about to find out how wrong they were. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop, who'd seen it all. While Jenna and Marcus were drafting documents to strip me of my assets, I was gathering my own. Photos of them leaving a boutique hotel in the Gold Coast. Credit card receipts for dinners I wasn't invited to. Audio recordings perfectly legal in Illinois, with one-party consent of Jenna, on the phone with Marcus, detailing their plan to use my pre-inheritance funds to start their new life together. The crown jewel was discovering that Marcus wasn't just any lawyer. He was a partner at the firm representing my family's trust. A massive conflict of interest. He wasn't just helping my wife cheat me. He was violating his fiduciary duty to my entire family. The trap was set. The stage for their downfall was my parents' 40th anniversary party. 200 people, all our friends, family, and business associates, gathered at a lavish ballroom downtown. Jenna was radiant, dripping in jewelry I'd bought her. Marcus by her side as her colleague. They thought it was their victory lap. Halfway through the night, the music stopped. A large screen at the front of the room flickered to life. It wasn't the planned slideshow of my parents' life. It was a photo of Jenna and Marcus kissing on a hotel balcony, the Chicago skyline behind them. Then another, and another. A receipt for a $5,000 necklace I'd never seen. Then the audio began to play. Jenna's voice clear as a bell, laughing about how I was too trusting and too stupid to ever catch on. Marcus's voice, outlining how he would use his position to lock me out of my own inheritance. The room went dead silent. I watched Jenna's face crumble, her mask of arrogance dissolving into pure, raw panic. Marcus looked like a ghost. My father, a man of immense influence in the city, simply stared at him, his expression unreadable, but promising ruin. Security escorted them out as I stood there, holding a glass of champagne, feeling nothing but the cold satisfaction of a plan perfectly executed. The fallout was absolute. Marcus was disbarred. My family's firm sued him into oblivion. Jenna was left with nothing. The joint accounts had been legally frozen pending the investigation. Her friends abandoned her. Her family was ashamed. I filed for divorce the next day, the evidence so overwhelming that she had no choice but to accept my terms. She walked away with nothing but the clothes on her back and the public shame that would follow her forever. I sold the house on the North Shore. I couldn't stand to be in it anymore, the memory of their laughter echoing in the empty rooms. Sometimes I drive through that old neighborhood late at night, as the new family has lights on, and I can see their own lives playing out in the windows. I don't feel sadness anymore, or anger, just a quiet, hollow emptiness. I won, but I lost everything to get there, and